Greetings, travelers!
And welcome to another episode of Tales of the Dice Roll, Phasers and Fates.
Last we left off, the group just murdered a guy in cold blood.
His name is Colin.
Not like that matters anymore.
And through that action, our group now knows where to find their next lead.
The Hannikin homeworld, Tok'Ssik's home planet. I wonder what kind of trauma we're gonna dig up for the poor guy.
Let's find out.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tales of the Dice Roll. As always, I'm your host and dungeon master for Phasers and Fates.
Woo! Whoa! I didn't know that was coming.
I didn't know that! And we're back with our lovely cast and crew. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am Evan Saxton, and I am playing Miros Gray.
I'm Nicholas Reysack, and I'm playing Tok'Ssik.
I'm Porter Williams, and I'm playing Peddycoart. I'm Aaron Moore, and I'm playing Sylarisk.
We last left off with our party being chased through space by cops. They successfully blew up the police the police fighter, and they have escaped and are now heading towards the Hannikin homeworld, where they have been tipped off that there is something related to the Scriptor of Fates. This is also the home planet of Tok'Ssik, a planet that he has left abandoned after a massive plague wiped out most of the Hannikin people. The soft clinks and hums of the ship whir around you as you guys are arriving at the Hannikin homeworld. You guys come out of hyperspace. The planet, it's about as ugly as you remember, clouded by noxious green fumes. The once lush, beautiful jungle is now hidden under this mired landscape of ruin and toxicity. What would you guys like to do?
How much have you explained about your homeworld, or have you explained anything yet?
Not much, I don't think.
All right.
Give us a quick rundown on the Hannikin homeworld.
It's just a nice, luscious jungle planet. All our little homes are like maybe with like just wooden homes, like from medieval times.
Wait, what's the current state of your planet?
It's clouded by plague. It's sick.
Okay.
Very, very sick.
Like a good sick or like a bad sick?
Hell yeah.
It's like a bubonic kind of sick.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's not like totally radical 90s sick.
Okay, so with that, all right. So with that knowledge, I'm gonna gather you all around. Okay, I've been deployed to a couple of jungle and urban environments, so we're going to move quick. With my scout training, I know that with your intel, once we get to that building, it's up to you to guide us to where we need to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on my hazmat suit. Make sure I'm like double padded.
You got everything sealed off. You're completely wrapped up, covered in your little velociraptor.
I got like
hazmat
that like
suit.
little doctor stance.
You said there's some sort of plague infecting you? All right.
Yeah, it's a plague that affects only my species.
All right, so you stick close to them as well. Okay. Yeah.
You guys find a nice landing spot outside of the coordinates that you were given. You land just a bit outside the city, and as you're walking in, it's just a desolate wasteland. The houses have already started to be overtaken by the jungle as it's crept back in, and the body of Hannikin lay scattered throughout the streets. The bodies of the Hannikin are picked clean. The bones are pristine and white. You know it hasn't been long enough for the remains to decay this quickly. Something's been picking these bones clean. If anyone would like to roll me a perception check real quick.
Okay. 25.
25,
22.
22,
I didn't roll.
22 also.
22. You guys all see in between a couple of the houses what looks like another Hannikin. Seems to be just kind of creeping through the alleyway.
Like a sick one alive.
It's foggy, it's dark, you can't really tell. All you can make out is the shape of another Hannikin.
I have low light vision, but I'm sure like the fog is not making it easy.
I have smell vision, so I don't need to see, I can smell them.
That's actually
This thing
cool.
smells wrong.
Whatever that is. Wait, I'm gonna sniff you real quick. Compare that. Can I make a roll? See if they're like even related. Like, is this just a
You don't need to.
decayed,
There
ugly-
is, it has the smell of arcane. Just raw arcane is wrapped around this creature. And as it turns towards you, you can see in the light there are limbs growing out of abnormal places of this creature. There are legs coming out of its back, arms from its underbelly. There's a hand sticking out of its throat, and it and then
I'm gonna-
darts off into the alleyway.
All right, I'm gonna deploy my shield. I'm just gonna pick up Bird and like keep him like underneath.
I'm gonna crawl on top of big man over there.
Sounds good.
Like after
piggyback?
seeing that, he just like starts scuttling on top of him.
Okay, Bird. Do you recognize this location? Where do we go from here?
This is
Do
close to home.
Yeah.
The lab shouldn't be too far from here.
Yes, I know what to go.
You know the lab shouldn't be too far ahead now. Near the main town center, but kept off, kind of cordoned off. You guys have gone through a chain link fence that's long degraded now. And ahead of you, you see the blast doors of the lab set into the mountainside.
Bird, just what is the nature of this plague?
Go ahead and roll me a history check real quick to see what you can remember.
All right. That's a 25.
You know that this plague isn't natural. This plague came about through experimentation in the laboratories of the Hannikin homeworld. It's something that got out of control. The government tried to suppress it very quickly. It quickly broke out of containment, and before anything could really be done, it swept across your world and left nearly no survivors.
Okay.
The true nature of it, you guys never really could find out. Those who are working on the cure quickly succumbed to the plague themselves, and they're never able truly to find out what this plague does to its victims before they themselves fell to it. All you know is the natural magic that resides within the Hannikin was almost overloaded by this plague, as it would cause horrible mutations across the bodies of the Hannikins that were corrupted by it.
We're dealing with perhaps mutated Pelican.
Yes, the disease seems to be related to like magical properties, since us Hanakon are magical creatures.
So these are dangerous threats. Move quick. Do not engage. If we need to,
Do engage! Do engage! No.
If we need
No,
to,
no,
make
no.
sure to wipe out as many as we can in one move. Then
Okay.
keep moving. Grenades are a must.
All right, everybody give me a stealth check.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's not a negative roll, but it's certainly a straight roll.
All right, what did everyone get?
10.
10,
8.
8,
23.
23,
17.
17. You guys start moving through this. It's an old path. It wasn't very well traveled. There weren't too many researchers at this facility, and it was kept pretty under wraps as well. Most of the people who worked here mainly stayed at the facility. Every once in a while, they would leave to go out into the town, but most everyone kept to themselves, and the jungle has quickly overtaken this road. You start winding your way down through the path, and I'm assuming, Kakor, you're at the front.
Yeah.
I'm on top of him.
As you kind of round a bend in the path,
Oh, there it is.
almost directly next to you, a corrupted Hannikin leaps from the bushes, lunging at you.
We're cocked.
It misses, and it streaks past you. It kind of skitters on the dirt, spins around, and readies itself in another stance, and you hear the clicking and chattering of other Hannikins in the woods around you.
We need to run.
Everybody roll initiative.
14.
14,
19.
19,
23.
23,
21.
21.
Wow.
All right. Aaron, you're up first. What would you like to do?
Immediately, I'm going to use, I have an action I can do called Override Biology, and I'm going to apply that to
That's really smart.
Tok'Ssik.
All right. So, Tok'Ssik, you are now resistant to poison and disease and have a +2 to your armor class, and you no longer need to breathe. This syringe hits into you, and you take a quick breath, and your lungs feel stronger, and your skin feels a bit more resilient. Evan, you are 21.
Yes.
You're next.
So just before I'm out of range, I'm gonna take a shot with my blaze rifle at the one right next to them all.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll to hit.
17.
All right, go ahead and roll damage.
4 regular damage plus 5 fire damage.
The fire sizzles across the skin. It almost seems to catch even more as it rolls across its skin. It screams out in pain as it echoes throughout the forest, and you hear a resounding clicking calls of other Hannikins throughout the forest, and it rises to this cacophony.
All right. I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna do a full attack
All right.
on this Hanakon infected one. Oh, that's range, so 7, so it'll be +3. First attack is 23,
That'll hit.
and the second one, 15.
That will not hit.
Okay. I should roll a D.
It as it collapses to the ground, and I need everybody in the area to make a dex save.
Oh lord. It's gonna
As
explode.
it collapses to the ground, and you see this pulsing inside of it as it, and then
Wait, flat dexterity or?
a dexterity saving throw.
It's like the. It's like
There's
the.
not a dexterity saving throw. There's fortitude, reflex, and will.
Make a reflex saving throw.
I got a 15.
Okay.
15, 20.
Oh, am I saving too since I'm 100 feet away?
No, never mind. Sorry.
7.
7. You two fail. You succeed. Those who failed take 11 damage.
Wow.
You who succeed take 5 damage.
What?
As this thing's body explodes in this blue-green explosion of just this magical energy as acidic blood lands on you and starts sizzling through as it just sizzles and boils on your skin.
Yeah.
It feels like fire on your skin.
Ugh.
Run!
We need to keep moving.
Kakor, you're up.
I'm going to.
Oh, great heavens.
I'm going to use total defense as an action, and I'm going to use a resolve point to move twice.
Sounds good. There is a scream of Hannikins as it echoes through the forest. You hear it behind you, to the sides of you, and even in front of you. You hear them screaming as they start pounding through the forest. You hear the rustling of leaves and branches as they snap and break under the weight of these Hannikins coming through the forest.
Did you not move? Or have you not moved yet?
I didn't move on my first one.
Oh my god!
There's so
in
many.
the fall.
Hey, can we retroactively say that I moved on my last one? Because it was a standard action. No, okay, never mind.
If you want to burn a resolve point right now to move, you can.
I'm gonna burn a resolve point to move. How much can I just move my normal speed?
Move your normal speed. What is your, let's see, what's your kinetic armor class?
Kinetic armor 20.
You are going to take 8 acid damage as this hail of acidic spittle just rains past you as these smaller Hannikins just, as they start, these glands open up on their throats. You can see their throats swell with this blue-green acid, and they regurgitate it and launch it out at you. You're able to dodge most of it, but one catches you right in the small of your back, and you feel it eating through your armor.
Bob, everyone be careful!
Up next is the big one next to Kakor. What's your kinetic armor class?
It's 25 now.
25, so that's going to miss. What is your kinetic armor class?
18.
18, that's going to hit. The two
past this
mutated
tree.
Hannikins next to you, they stand about 10 feet away, and they kind of wriggle their backs, and you see these bone spurs break out, and they start firing them at you. One of them is going to hit you, and you're going to take 5 piercing damage total as these bone spikes into you. That'll be the Hannikin's turn. You're up.
Okay.
Make sure to move.
I'm doing a full action to move 4 times my
Rock.
speed in a straight line.
All right.
I yells at run as I'm going past everyone.
Evan, you're up next.
No opportunity attack if I just.
No, you are able to move past them right now as they're not directly next to you.
All right, I'm booking it to the door.
Yeah, you're absolutely able to make it
Yeah.
there. As you get to the door, it seems to be sealed shut at the moment.
Oh no. Okay, so
And there's a control panel off to the
yes,
right.
I was gonna say let me start working on that.
You took your
Please
full
do.
action to
Okay, yeah.
move.
That's
You
right,
will-
you're right.
You'll be able to next turn.
I can probably open it.
Nick, you're up next.
I'm gonna do the covering fire standard action.
All right.
Ooh.
So you get a +2 core.
Tok'Ssik on your shoulder just unmounts his weapon
Oh,
and just
yeah.
starts kind of unloading into the trees. You
Yeah.
hear some of Hannikins scampering to cover as he just into the trees.
Good thinking, bird!
Kakor, you're up.
Full action, dead sprint. I'm unfortunately not that fast, but I will make it, I believe, 8 spaces.
Up next is the Hannikin. More of them begin to pour from the trees.
I just see them in like the shadow of them, like the fog in the distance.
It's like
That
the
is so
mist. It's like the
scary.
creatures from the mist.
That's actually so scary.
That thing is awful looking.
Oh my gosh.
This looks like something out of Hollow Knight.
But we have to get out of here now.
You better keep your feet moving.
I'm doing my best. This is heavy armor.
One of them, this Hannikin with multiple arms,
Oh, awesome.
is just kind of like rolling across the ground as it just rolls up to you, and it just brings its arms and wraps them around you.
Like a
Cool.
Javoidica.
Nat 20. So one of them has just kind of this Hannikin with multiple arms. That's just kind of, its limbs are grabbing almost every available spot on you as it just starts trying to pull you in.
Go, bird!
And you hear the other Hannikin starting to swarm around you, getting ready to crawl on top of you. Through the trees, you see this hulking abomination. It's was a Hanekin. There's still vague Hanekin-ish features, but its limbs have extended far beyond what should be natural. You see several sets of joints throughout its legs where there shouldn't be joints. Its bones creak in unnatural ways, and it lets out this low that echoes throughout the trees. The other Hanekins echo this slow. All the other Hanekins in the area let out this slow.
My shield is not big enough for all of us.
You hear in your head screams. It sounds like the Hanekin language through like a filter. It's an abomination of the Hanekin language. The words are there, but something's just missing. It's not right, but you hear them screaming in your head.
Disgusting plans. Once you get the dope in, we'll run in. I'll throw my belt. I'll throw my grenade belt. Then I close it.
We're discussing things as they're like around us.
Well, yes. We can't do that. There's nothing illegal about it.
Open!
They start to, like, World War Z style, they're clambering over each other. The ones that get there first are clambering after you, and then the smaller ones almost run on top of them as they're jumping over, as they spring at you. If anyone would like to roll a quick perception check. What were perception checks?
23 for
17.
13.
I had a nat 1 + 4.
Oh, yeah. You see one of these Hanekins comes flying up and over. It comes over Ticknor and is going to land on Tok'Ssik, and it wrenches itself out of the air as it's about to hit Tok'Ssik, and it kind of clambers on the ground and then whips and faces Ticknor instead. You would know this. You still have a key card from when you used to work here.
Burn!
Can I like bonus like toss him the key card?
Yeah, you can absolutely toss the key card to him. You
Miros.
swipe the key
Key.
card.
Right.
Ding! The doors start to open slowly.
I'm booking it in.
You book in.
So I'm gonna like back up. Can I just grab him and start dragging him as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab you, drag in, and then I'm gonna just like arm a grenade and toss the belt.
Okay.
The whole belt? How many you
The
got?
whole belt. 3 left.
You got 3 grenades. Are they
Yeah.
all the same type of grenade?
All the same type of grenade.
All right, go ahead and just roll the hit with the first grenade. It'll be a disadvantage because you're tossing the whole belt.
This is a hell yeah moment right here.
Okay.
That'll still be a 25.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'll land. It lands
25,
and it
you
kind of
plus one.
wraps itself
Yeah.
over the shoulder of one of these Hanekins, and it beep, 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 beep. These Hanekin, there is this blinding flash of light as these grenades detonate, and then on top of that, this blue-greenish mist mixes with it as these Hanekin evaporate in this grenade. There's a couple still left standing, those left slightly outside of the blast. They're coated in this ooze and mist, and they scream, and you hear this low. You guys are through the door. The door is still slowly opening.
Close.
All right. No one else have an action left? Oh, can I just toss? No, I already did all my actions. I was gonna toss him out the door. I was gonna toss him like at the
I guess
You wanna
you
spend a
handed me
resolve
the
point
card.
Just to make me like fit the.
If you'd like to
It's like
spend a
close
resolve
that
point,
soon
just
as
kind
you
of
get
throw
through.
him at the button to shut the door, you could.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you doing?
Throw the alien.
I'm tossing him at the like button to close the door.
Toss me.
Keep in mind, I'm also super dense, and so I'm just like throwing like a little ball of just metal. It feels like.
Yeah, I'm just.
You, as you're
Tungsten
dragging it
cube.
back, you see on the side of the door in the red and black hash marks, there's a large button that says emergency shut. And and your hand makes solid contact with.
I'm like fully like.
You hear
flying
a
it.
klaxon. Boop, boop. A couple of them are starting to get through, and it crushes a couple in the door as a head of a Hanekin falls off, its lower jaw completely missing, as it's just this mutated form of a Hanekin. There are low emergency lights along the floor that provide a small, dim orange light. The klaxon above is burp, 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 burp. And that is one of the only brightest lights in here, the klaxon above the door as it rings. As you look down at this Hanekin head and you get a closer look, its skin is covered in boils and festers. You see that acidic blood that was exploding onto you boils and swirls in these pustules on its face. Its lower jaw has been missing for who knows how long, its tongue hanging loose out of its now severed head. The frill of the normal Hannikins, it's melted into this like double frill of these large spines as it kind of curls and curves in unnatural ways. Its bone structure seems to have been almost completely altered as its face is these harsh angles, its eyes sunken into its head. It just looks wrong.
Yeah, and Tok'Ssik's just like, oh.
Look away, Tok'Ssik. We have a mission to do.
It's quiet in here. You hear the scrapes and pounds of Hannikins slamming themselves against the door, but soon they start to pitter-patter away, and you hear the footsteps of the large one off into the tree line. You still hear that in your mind of this psychic connection between all Hannikins. It still seems to have some semblance of that, and it feels like it's eating away at your mind the longer you hear it.
Just shudders.
I'm gonna kneel down. Are you feeling alright, Bard?
No.
Well, too bad we have a mission.
I noticed something.
I realized I shouldn't have asked. That sucks.
Realized I didn't care.
Is there any residue of like their like DNA on anyone?
If anyone would like to make an
Yeah,
investigation
probably the
check.
skull. That's
Yeah, there is like
yeah. Just check the door.
the door is like coated in Hannikin blood.
I want to take my custom microlab and like swab like to the like whatever
We're
it
bringing
is
this plague
and
into
like just so I can
international.
research it.
Sounds good.
Do I see this?
Yeah, you see him kind of pull out like a Q-tip looking thing. He starts kind of wiping at the door.
I just give him the most concerned look.
He just pops it into a vial. You have like a micro lab on you.
Yeah, I have a custom microlab that's like a little like fanny pack thing. It's like
Go ahead and give me a life science roll.
okay.
Does he make a cure right now?
No.
We should have had a biohacker on this.
21.
You've never seen readings like this. There's nothing ever in your studies that has ever looked like this. Most of the dials and like readings on your machine just display kind of a red line error. There's nothing matching your database. There's nothing like this in any records that you've read or have access to. This is unknown. Most of the data that comes up on this is unknown. The readings, unknown. One of the only things that comes up is DNA Hannikin with a question mark.
Alright, Bard. We're next.
All right, I'm gonna. What are we looking for
Wait,
again? Just like
so we don't know what really this virus is.
I'm not
going
gonna
to
tell anybody this.
Right?
I'm gonna like keep this to myself. And be like,
I will withhold this information
because like I'll be like, they don't need to know this right now.
Because I noticed right before we got in, one of them jumped at our lizardy friend here, and well, it seemed to misdirect and go for you instead. I don't think it wanted to attack it, or it wasn't able to.
So you're saying there's some semblance of cognizant thought?
I don't know if it's because they know or remember him, or if there's something in you itself that won't allow them to attack you. But something stopped it and changed its course for you.
Well, we've got the hope that it continues to do that because he's our key in here and out of here.
So what are we looking for again? Just like information. And how's my hazmat suit? Is it just?
There's rips and tears, but it seems to still be mostly intact.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Can you repair any armor?
I mean, I can give my work on it. I'll need to find what scraps I can here.
Yes.
No,
We just need to keep moving.
We might just have more hazmat suits here. I'm assuming too.
so what would you guys like to do?
I
I'm
want
just
to
gonna-
scrounge for jetpack parts.
All right.
I'm just going to ask Bird real quick. Is there any facility you were not allowed access to? Likely this is much more above your pay grade.
yeah. How was my what's my
You were a mid-level researcher. You had a pretty good access to the facility. There were some parts of the facility that were blocked off. You needed a higher level researcher to allow you in.
and do we need like a key card for that?
They would have key cards on them.
Luckily, we
Alright.
have a guy who can bypass it.
Yeah, we.
So,
Who?
well, it seems that he's been gone, so-
I hope not. They put me in with all the buttons on the ship.
You guys start proceeding down the hallway. As you get to the first corner, as you round it, you see right on the other side of the corner, you see the body of a Hanekin researcher still in his lab coat. He's got one of these are like PDA devices, would be commonly used by the researchers to record logs and research data. It's still flickering with life in his hand.
Is he normal or is he,
He looks to have been ripped to shreds.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty normal.
What
Could be
has
worse.
happened in this lab?
Take one guess.
And what point did I leave the lab? Like when the virus was breaking out or when the people started turning?
When the virus started breaking out, you were pretty quick to realize what this virus was doing to people and how quickly out of control it got. You booked it. You just booked it. You found the nearest ship, got on, didn't look back. The log in this researcher's hand is still flickering with life. It looks like you could still be able to read this.
All right, I want to like approach carefully.
His body is lifeless. You pick up the log and you start reading it. Multiple members of the Hanekin population have become extremely sick. Noted symptoms include extreme exhaustion, weakness, and muted senses. Further testing will be done to determine the cause.
Okay, does it have a date on it? Like you said, it's the same day I left.
This is about 2 weeks before you were even notified of the outbreak.
Oh, okay.
The lights of this long hallway are all dead.
Anything
all the way down.
else on the log to help us?
It ends there.
Okay.
You can assume if there's any other researchers, you might be able to find more logs around the facility.
Okay, I guess we're gonna keep looking.
You two are, as you look down this hallway, you see a shape, a figure, and then you blink and it's gone. You take a breath and you listen and you hear further on in the facility the whir and hum of machinery still moving, and you also hear skittering of claws across metal.
They're still active. Mission work to be done here. They're skittering in the machine going down the hall.
In this machinery, do I know, does it like turn off afterward or does someone have to keep operating it?
Most of this facility is dead. The fact that any of this, there's obviously still power. You see the lights flicker every once in a while, but most of the facility is run down. Any machines that are still working had to have been in a more secure part of the facility. As you move further down the hallway, you see laying against one of the floorboards, one of the PDA devices flipped upside down. You flip it over and you see it hums back to life. We've determined the cause of the sick light state. The Hanekin population has magic flowing through the blood. However, this magic has begun to drain from multiple Hanekins, resulting in the sick light condition. Further research will have to be done in order to find a cure. 1 week since the outbreak, or before the outbreak.
I will also deploy my little drone and have it head down opposite of that other hallway.
You pick up the signs of electronic signals in this room. It's possibly another log in here.
Oh my. Well, my little drone can just, it's got a robot arm and a compartment so it can store anything and bring it back.
Picks up you find the log device hidden under one of the tables, clutched in the bodies of another dead Hanekin researcher. It takes a little bit to pull it out of its hands, and it picks it up, brings it back to you. Log 3. We believe we found a solution to the epidemic. By artificially injecting magic essence into the blood of the Hanekins, we can counteract the magic drain that leads to the sickness. We will schedule all Hanekin to receive a magic injection. Hopefully we will soon move past this sickness, thanks to the brilliant mind of Tok'Ssik. 5 days before the outbreak.
I'm assuming you're the only one who reads this?
What did
Wait, I'm reading this?
He reads it first off the drone.
Okay. What language is it in?
It's in Hanekin.
Yeah, I can't read this here.
I read it.
You remember this. It was a conversation in the boardroom. A couple of the scientists had brought up an idea talking about how there were some Hanekins that were losing magic in them. And you tossed out the idea, what if we take refined magic essence and re-inject it? Maybe we could revitalize the systems. The researchers took that idea. You never really heard from them. And then the outbreak happened.
Okay. want to keep this like log.
Ticknor. As you round this corner, the hum of machinery is coming from a hallway further down to the right, and you see a vent flap close.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you for not saying.
No problem. Yeah, so I'm gonna sort of like comment if we saw our comms. Alright. There's definitely something moving amongst us. There's something took to the vents. Be on high alert. Yeah. So I'm gonna sort of like wait for them to sort of like catch up, and then I'm gonna cautiously move towards the like hum of the machine.
You
I want to
turn the corner and you see the emergency lights in a room ahead of you. All of them are still on and at full brightness. This room is more lit than the rooms that you've been in. Down this hallway, the emergency lights run to a blast door that's shut.
Alright. Lord, can you open it? If not,
Yeah,
Rat, can you
yeah,
hack
I'm
it?
gonna go over to the door and see. Does it need a key card?
This is a room you've never been in before. You've never had a reason to go here. The fact that your key card worked here was unexpected. You've never had to use it here, but you're assuming that the clearance systems here have sort of relaxed due to emergency situations. They allow most key cards to have access to almost anywhere in the facility. You assume that's probably why your key card allowed you in here.
All right, what do I see?
In this room, it's a macabre situation. There's bodies of mutated Hannikins laying splayed open on the table, split apart, dissected. So several are dissected, some of them are still in their full state, and in a glass bubble floating in a liquid, you see the body of another mutated Hannikin, arms sprouting from multiple different areas. You see a smaller second head emerging from its neck as it's floating lifeless in this tank, and you see another log flickering on the table.
I'm gonna like go over to it like cautiously.
You pick it up. Everything has gone wrong. Injecting magic into the blood of the Hannikin seems to have caused an imbalance, causing those injected to undergo horrific mutations. Those who've mutated have become extremely hostile. We're attempting to find a remedy, but our best minds are either mutated or dead. Things are looking grim.
Oh,
There's
no.
some more fragmented words afterwards, but it seems like whoever was writing this log was interrupted for one reason or another.
Am I reading this silently?
This was
I'm probably reading silently at first.
the day of the outbreak.
You just see like the Tok'Ssik just stressing.
At the very back wall, you also see a computer that's still humming with life.
I shall go to the computer.
Be careful, everyone. There's still something here.
This is, you see, at first, there's logs of more Hannikin research. It's the same data. Everything's gone wrong, but you also see another subsection that's labeled Fate Seekers.
This is what we need. I shall click.
You, it hums to life. A file asks for a password. You just type in one of your passwords, doesn't work. You try a couple different ones. Finally, on like the fourth or fifth try, it ping, and the folder hums to life. It's a document on something that you've never been a part of. It's a research group that you only heard rumors of in the break room. It seems that they've been doing research into the Quill Nebula and the mysteries surrounding it. You've always heard rumors that the Quill Nebula could rewrite the secrets of the universe. But in this document, it lays out information on an entity inside the Quill Nebula, that this entity has the power to change events in the universe, rewrite fate itself. But it seems that a group from the Vesk homeworld took an artifact in a war between the Vesk and Hannikins years ago, and it seems that this artifact is currently residing on the Vesk homeworld.
Okay. I shall relay that, especially like mostly towards core.
You see through even through the visor, like my eyes just go wide, and you can feel my heart sink. Oh, that's crime. Does it really say that?
Indeed it does.
You see in bold letters at the bottom, last known location, Vesk Prime.
I'm going to go to an unoccupied dead computer and flip it over, screaming Vesk insults, swear words.
As it breaks and the room settles back to quiet, you begin hearing scraping along the vents, and there's chittering coming from the ventilation.
What kind of
system.
chittering?
It's
I shoot.
Is it similar to the others?
extremely similar.
Okay.
We need to keep moving. Now.
I'm going,
we have the information.
I'm going to like grab the information.
Yeah.
You poured it onto, you've got a small hard drive that you always keep on you. You pull the information off, slip it in, and almost immediately as you slip in, a small Hannikin mutant explodes from the vents. As this one comes exploding out of the vents, you hear the hammering and thundering of more legs throughout the ventilation systems and throughout the walls of the facility.
Bird, we need to run. Is there an emergency exit? Is there any kind of exit you know about?
The only exit that you are aware of is the one that you came through.
Can I go to one of the active computers and see if there's like an emergency layout map or some sort?
You're able to quickly sort through some of the files right as this Hannikin's coming out of the vents, and it pops up. There seems to be an escape hatch that runs up from one of the ventilation shafts into the mountain and pops out one of the sides.
Okay, we can take a vent out. Hopefully we can all fit.
All right.
Oh.
You're up next.
This is the only one that's in the room currently, right?
So far, but you
Okay.
hear more in the vents.
I'm going to shoot it with my needler rifle, to try to like just incapacitate, just knock it down,
Alright.
so that we can have time to run.
Roll a hit.
19.
Double hit. You see it pierce in, and you see its neck bend at this unnatural angle, and slumps down on the table. You hear the skittering of a pack of Hannikins down the hallway, and more burst from the vents behind you.
Blow up. You have more grenades, correct? We're gonna need to use probably most of them, if not all.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move my 30 feet, because that's about as far as I can go. And now I am going to throw a frag grenade.
All right, roll to hit.
14.
4. All right, it explodes. You hear the screams of Hannikins as shrapnel starts to shred through them. You hear this shattering, and the wall in front of you, down the hallway of you two, explodes in a shower of sparks, dust, and rending metal.
Do you know exactly where this vent is?
In the room to our right.
All
Room
right.
to our right.
And this massive abomination
He's so close.
explodes out of the wall. It slams into the other wall as it's this tangle of limbs and heads and arms as it... What's your
Two tiles
kinetic
head.
armor class?
Kinetic is 18.
You're gonna take 10 slashing damage as it starts ripping into you.
So I see this big thing now.
You see this big thing, and you see a smaller one on top of Miros. As you approach, it's rending into Miros, and it like looks up at you, and it starts to back away slowly as you approach.
See, that's what I was talking about.
So I see this now that it does that.
Yes. What would you like to do?
So wait, they understand me?
It seems to. There's a hint of recognition. As it saw you, it started to back away.
Yep. I'm gonna pick up Tok'Ssik in the most like look at how much I respect this guy, but I'm just bigger than him.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna keep moving closer to the thing as I'm gonna start rounding the corner.
As you push closer, it backs further off. The ventilation shaft is behind the middle container.
I'm gonna run past, I'll shoot the cover off, hit it,
The
whatever.
hinge swings off, and a dark ventilation shaft goes out, and then it seems to run up at an angle.
We got our way out. Follow now.
If it's just us three, I'm gonna grab onto you, and I'm just gonna dead sprint. Just
You are all inside the ventilation shaft. You hear the mutant still ripping and tearing as the walls start crumbling down in this facility. You hear the screams of other Hannikins throughout the facility as his presence no longer keeping them at bay. They start ripping and tearing throughout the facility.
Your home world really stinks.
Thank you for tuning in to Tales of the Dice Roll, Phasers and Fates. Make sure to tune in next time to see our intrepid heroes travel to the Vesk homeworld to attempt to track down an artifact related to the Scriptor of Fates. As always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Jonas Pelot.
Bye. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, boy.
Such a tragic tale.
I've seen worse. But did you see how Kakor reacted when he heard about Vesk Prime?
You know I did, actually. I wonder what experiences are tied to that place.
Well, it's your turn. Read on.
Certainly.
It seems that this artifact now lies on the Vesk homeworld, Vesk Prime.
The Mortash may have blessed our people, but we need to be better.